So this Saturday, I'm going to my first tournament in over a year. And so I decided I'm going to do a vlog episode of all my prep and the actual event itself. And I decided I'm going to be bringing my Angmar list because of course I have to. Obviously this means I'm going to have to actually write a list, and so that was the first step. My initial list was a couple of wraiths and a whole bunch of orcs and one Barrow Wight, a captain, and a few specters, and it was okay. I ended up playing with a friend of mine for the first game I had in over a year, and it was great. And it did okay, but it wasn't quite right. Basically, the second wraith, while I did like him there, and I love having the tainted model on the model, it didn't do enough to really justify it, so I decided to instead change him to a Barrow Wight and add a troll. So now it's perfect. And the second game went way better, so that's the list I'm taking. So if I'm taking the army to the tournament, I just can't do it without a display. So I decided to actually build a new display board in a week, because that makes sense. For the display board, I made a really simple base structure, basically just a sheet of wood I had lying around and some 1x1s for a frame underneath. And then I built up a structure out of a foam board, stuck in some branches to act as kind of just ruined trees, and then applied some sand with PVA glue. Super simple, did what it did. I was planning to have a river down the middle, and so I applied kind of like PVA straight over top of that to kind of smooth out the kind of rough wood finish. And I don't know, it looks like it's going okay. And for painting, I'm going to be painting it exactly like my bases with a dark blue and then some dry brushes over top. And yeah, I'm not done yet, but we'll see how it goes. The other thing I'm going to be doing is I'm actually going to be building a new board, because why not? I actually started building a board a while ago for a past episode, but it didn't go so well. Basically, I left it outside, it got crazy warped, and so I could theoretically repair it, but wasn't going to be as good, and it definitely wasn't going to make a good video, so I decided just to kind of do it in my free time. It's quite a simple thing, but I tried to make it kind of nice, so it's the two boards, which are MDF with a wood frame and foam in the middle, and then a thicker frame around the top to act as a border that also has the hinges in it to make it hinge up and lock into place. For the ground texture, I was originally actually going to use tile grout and a little bit of sand or dirt technique, so I didn't have to paint it, but I still haven't quite got that to work well with for me, and I chickened out, so I just applied some kind of quick mix of kind of texture paste, basically drywall, spackle, sand. I used polymeric sand in this case because I had a bunch from working on my outside, and just some house paint I bought. So I applied that. Once it was dried, did a really quick dry brush over top just to give it some kind of texture, and then the rest I'm going to be applying with the a lot of flock over top. So that's all for now. Basically, it's Wednesday now, Wednesday night. Tomorrow's the next day, and we'll see how that goes. So it's the end of Thursday night, and I have gotten a fair bit done. Didn't have a lot of time for hobbying tonight, but I did manage to put all the flock down on the board, and I think it's going to work. I'm always worried when I put a bunch of flock down and I do the kind of wet working stuff that it's just not going to stick, so here's hoping, and I'm going to need it by Saturday, so I don't have a lot of time to fix it. Additionally, I've gone ahead and kept working on the display board. In this case, I've just put some washes down and such, and then tomorrow it's just going to be a crap ton of dry brushing and a little bit of flocking, and it's done. So yeah, it's a really quick little board, eh? I'm not 100% sure how happy I am with it, but I think it's pretty good. It's going to do the job, and will probably look okay. We'll see. Alright, one more day. Bye. Hey everybody, so it's Friday night now, last night before the tournament, and I guess I'm ready. I finished the display board, it's just drying there behind me. I did the dry brushing on it, and I also finished the frozen river on it. For that, I kind of just used kind of Agrella and Earth, I think that's the one. the crackle paint from DW. Yeah, Egg Rail on Earth. I have this whole cannon and I don't know what I'm ever going to use it for, so I just thought I'd use it on this. And it did okay. The cracks aren't quite as big as I wanted them to be, so didn't do quite as good a job at being the being a real kind of like icy look that I wanted. But I basically kind of painted it off white, did a blue wash, and then I dry brushed it white, did a gloss varnish on it, and then I kind of stippled white on top of it again to kind of get the kind of glossy but not too glossy kind of look to it. And I don't know, it kind of looks, it looks cold. I don't know if it necessarily looks like frozen water, but whatever. It looks good enough. You can kind of, again, see it back there. As for the board, it looks great, I think. I don't think it's sticking very well. I really need to do like a layer of varnish to it, but there's just not enough time for that to dry, so it's going to be a bit of a... Stuff's going to be falling off a bit, but well, I'm going to give it a quick brush before I go. So yeah, army's all packed up already. I'm just going to pack up some of my, my camera equipment and then my terrain I promised I was going to bring. And yeah, it's been a long time, so it's going to be fun. Yeah. Alright. Let's see how tomorrow goes. Bye. Alrighty, so car is packed, ready to go. Got my coffee, and I'm very late, so let's hope everyone else is too. Yeah, let's go. It was my, what am I playing?
You're playing Angmar.
Angmar. Yeah. Angmar. This is Alexander's
I had
Rohan. Yeah. And ended up being 7-0. I managed to get it off the board. How did you find the game?
It was good right up until Gamling got murdered by the Witch King. Once Gamling got murdered by the Witch King, I just started putting down personal goals, like make sure that troll's dead, and hopefully Theoden lives.
Yeah, the whole troll, despite wait till I'm making him, and he did nothing? Didn't do a single wound? Wait, did he wound him?
No, he
didn't.
He tried, but yeah, that would
pass the fates, right?
Yeah, the troll is a terrifying beast though, and I would not want to go up against it, because the nice thing about putting the troll on the table is it distracts you from
exactly.
Because if I'd focused on the Witch King, got a wound off on the Witch King, I would have been in much better shape.
Oh yeah, well it splits your attention, right? You can't just have the one.
It does a great job.
Yeah.
Well, that's the first game I played in 2 years, so that's a nice welcome back.
That's solid, yeah. The one thing that like helps, especially this thing, Hammer just kind of sat inside the board for most of the game. If he was doing stuff, like that would have been totally different.
I for whatever reason, I thought I was going to do a pincer, and then I didn't. Because it just like...
took too long.
Everything went down with gambling, and I'm like, all the focus went there.
Yeah,
I'm like, how the heck will I save him? And there was no way.
Yeah.
He was dead. Once he slung shot with the... Because what he did, he murdered... He drew out a poor rider of Rohan, surrounded him, murdered him, and then slung shot into gambling for the... I think that was the most clutch play of the game.
Yeah, it's basically like a free, like, instead of having to compel. Yeah. Anyway, on to the next two. Have a good one. That? Round two, it was me versus Jordan. I had Angmar again, and you had Gondor and Amro. Yeah,
Amro. Yeah, it's Gondor in total.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, fiefdoms.
Yeah, you had Boromir, but you didn't have And yeah, it was a good game. It ended up being 5-0 to me, but it was really close. Yeah, but we had a ton of problems there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
36 models for me,
Yeah.
and how many for you again?
40.
40.
So,
Yeah.
almost 80 bottles in the Gorm. So, how did you feel like it went?
I knew it was over once your mounted Witch King hero grabbed the object.
He's pretty tanky, and he was the only. By the time we got really lucky at knocking everyone off the horse in like the first turn.
All my nice Doll Amroth got knocked out right away.
It was a good hurl.
Yeah.
But yeah.
So I used my mounts poorly, and he used his mounts in a very good way. So.
And but you had a good first game too, right? How did you do?
5-1.
Okay,
And that was a close one too until the equals.
That was against
Mika.
yeah, me and the dwarves, right?
Yeah, dwarves.
Okay,
Yeah,
cool.
they were hard to kill, but he let himself bounce around us.
They are. But yeah. Anyway, one more match, and yeah, it'll be good.
Yeah, good job.
Good luck. So that was the last round, and we were top table, eh?
Yeah.
I'm pretty happy. Usually wooden spoon being on top table. I'm glad everyone's worse after the pandemic
I mean,
now.
hey, yeah, you killed that. That was great.
It was a good game, but yeah, in the end it was 7-1, right?
Yeah.
But yeah, it was. Yeah, and you had Rivendell,
Rivendell and Lothlorien, yeah.
with Kiradan, Haldir, and Captain,
And Bilbo.
and Bilbo. Yeah. Bilbo took a bunch of arrows to the face and died. But yeah, it was a good game. It was really stressful, right?
Oh,
Yeah.
so stressful.
But yeah.
I mean, whenever you're on top table,
Oh yeah.
it's just like, okay, go, stress, and then you're
like-
not thinking about anything else. You're just going for it.
And like you said, like Kiradan, like having like fearless and cause terror
It's basically
against
the
an Angmar.
ultimate Angmar.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
So and yeah, and then the Rivendell, having spent so much time on those Rivendell Knights on the side, like they are so, I love Rivendell Knights.
Yeah, they're
Really.
scary.
Yeah, they're great. But yeah, the Orc Archers though are my favorite boys on the planet. They had to have taken out like 100 points just by
Yeah, 'cause
themselves.
you paid,
Like,
what, 6 points for bows on them?
6 points in the boat, yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, but that was good. We're gonna hop back in and yeah, have a good one.
Good stuff.
All right, hello there. So let's decompress. So as we saw, I had my first ever tournament in over a year this weekend, and it went really well, actually. I did the best I've done at any tournament ever, which isn't saying much, as I've got several wooden spoons up there, but yeah, I actually did pretty well. I won 2 games, 7-0 and 5-0. And while again I did lose my last game, I gave top table a pretty good run. So like, yeah, I'm pretty happy about that. The list was a ton of fun to run, and like, I do know Angmar is intrinsically like fairly powerful, so I definitely had a bit of a leg up there, but I think I piloted them pretty well, so I'm pretty happy with it. And maybe that's because I've been basically list hammering this for like a year now and thinking about this army ever since I started like making it a year ago, so that might have something to do with it, but yeah, I'm pretty happy about that. As for the tournament itself, it was tons of fun. It was definitely a little bit weird to be that close to people, but we've got a pretty good situation going here in Canada. We've got a very high rate of vaccination. We're masked the whole time, unless outside, and as you saw in those videos. No kind of handshaking, that kind of stuff, and yeah. So it was relatively safe. I wouldn't want to do it every weekend, but once in a blue moon when everything kind of doing a bit better is I think we're in a spot for it, and I hope where you are is similar. Obviously, I have to say thank you to all of my fantastic opponents, Jordan, Alexander, and Joe. I've known Joe for a while, but I've only met Alexander a couple of times and never met Jordan before, so it was actually great to kind of meet them. Like, they're super nice guys. I really hope I'm going to be able to get some more games with them later, and they definitely inspired me both to get back to my Gondor army and my Rohan army eventually. But yeah, it was a ton of fun. And of course, the tournament was run by Jeremy, Again, another friend of mine who I played a bunch of games with in the last over the last several years. He's another local to the Ottawa-Gatineau area, and he did a great job. It was well structured, well organized, good location, and yeah, I had a ton of fun, and I really just commend him for doing it. I really should have gotten a little bit of an interview segment with him, but next time. So yeah, in terms of thoughts on the list, I am pretty happy with the list I ran. I think it was pretty powerful. One thing I definitely feel like I needed was a bit more speed. Basically, the only mounted figure in my whole list was the Witch King. And while I did have my captain there for the heroic marches, I definitely could use a bit more speed. So Warg Riders are on the list. And I definitely want to play with some more monsters. The Troll, honestly, the Troll didn't do all that great, but he was a fantastic distraction. So I feel like, kind of like having the Bear Away, when I only had one, it wasn't so great. But if I had maybe two of them, I feel like that could be really fun. Anyway, so yeah, that's it. One tournament down. I'm actually going to be going to another tournament in September, which I'm going to be running. So that's going to be a ton of fun. If you're in the Ontario or Quebec area, or feel like visiting, we're running an Ottawa-based event for the OSBGL League, and yeah, it's going to be a good time. So that's September 25th. But, and I need to actually start planning that. So yeah, this was a ton of fun. I hope you guys enjoyed this as well. Again, it's definitely a different style, a lot more vloggy, but I had fun, and I hope that came across. So let me know what you think. Thanks again to everyone for commenting, liking, subscribing. It's great. We have now hit 5,000 subscribers, which is insane. Like literally insane. I find it hard to believe that that's actually a reality, but yeah, it's really cool. And here's the 10K. We'll see how that one comes around. Obviously, a special thanks goes out to my patrons, who I just cannot express my thankfulness for your support all this time. It really has allowed me to put this energy and have this motivation to be basically accountable to someone else besides myself, and that's absolutely been instrumental in the execution of all this. So I only hope that I can continue to make it better and keep just doing stuff that both you all and I enjoy doing. So let me know if you thought about this, what other things you might like to think. Do you want to see more tournament coverage in the future? Do you want to see more gaming coverage in general? Not really much of a gaming guy. I do enjoy it. I'm not very good at it, but we could definitely look at maybe doing some more of that. But in the meantime, thank you so much, and have a good one, everybody.